Hi guys, my name is Divesh and today I'm going to talk to you about some basic Linux commands. So as you can see, I am inside my EC2 machine, which is basically an AWS cloud instance. You can try these commands on any Linux machine that can be either on your system or you can also try this on a Macintosh. Now, I'll quickly start by telling you about the first command, that is pwd. Now, this pwd means present working directory. So now if I go into the terminal and type in pwd, the output for my screen is /home/ec2 user. So since the root user of the machine is ec2 user, I can see, and I'm logged in as I'm logged in as the ec2 user. The directory where I will be logged in when I open the terminal is /home/ec2 user. If let's say your machine's name is ABC, the output of pwd will be /home/abc. So now I'll just quickly start by telling you about how can you create a directory. So to create a directory, you'll be typing in mkdir, or also you can call it as make directory, followed by the name. Let me call this directory sample dir. Now, to list all the files and folders inside this current folder, I'll be typing in ls. So you can see that currently I'm inside home/ec2 user and I've just created a directory called a sample dir. Now, in order to route or go inside this directory, I'm going to use the change directory command that is represented by cd. So now if I type in cd space sample dir, I am inside this sample dir. In order to check, I can again type in pwd and the output on my screen is /home ec2 user /sample dir. So now if I need to go back to the previous directory, I can just type in cd space dot dot, which is going to take me to the parent directory. Now you can see if I run the pwd command, I come back to home/ec2/user. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside my sample directory again and I'll teach you how can you create a file. So let me just quickly type in cd sample dir. Now I am inside sample dir and if I run ls, you can see I'm getting a blank output, which means that there is no file or folder inside this directory because I've just created it. So in order to create a file, you'll be typing in nano. So unlike your graphical user interface based operating systems, if you are working with the Linux, you need to use a command line editor. So in our case, we'll be using nano, and then you'll need to give the name of a file. So let me call this file sample.txt. So you can see on the middle top inside of my screen, it says sample.txt. This is the file which I'll be creating. Let me just put in some data. Now, if you want to save this, you'll be typing in Control X. You'll have to press both the keys together. Now, please observe the bottom of my screen. As soon as I type in Control X, it's going to ask me that the data has been modified in the file. Do you want to save it? Now, I will be clicking on Y because Y is going to denote yes. As soon as I click on Y, now it's going to ask me what is the name of the file that you want to write. So in the starting, when I typed in nano, I typed in nano space the name of the file, that was sample.txt. So it's asking me to confirm that at this point of time I can either change it or go with the same name. Since I do not want to change it, I'll just click on enter and I will be outside my nano editor. So now in order to check if my file is created or not, I'll be typing in ls. And now you can see the output on the screen is sample.txt. I'll quickly create another file to give you an example. So I'll just type in nano test2.txt and I'll just type in this is test2. Again the step, Control X, Y, enter. Now if I type in ls, you can see that this directory, the sample dir, currently has sample.txt and test2.txt. I'll quickly type in pwd to confirm that I am inside sample directory. So you can see the path to the current present working directory is /home/ec2 user /sample dir. So now, what if you want to know more details about your file? In that case, you can type in the command ls and you can give a -l. So -l is going to give you a detailed list. So if I type in ls space -l and click on enter, you can see I have two files inside this directory. One is sample.txt, the other one is test2.txt. And these files have some permissions. So you can easily see it says RW, RW and R. So R represents read, it's very obvious. W represents write. In some cases, you might also see X. X represents execute access. So there are these values given to you 3 times. So the first value, the RW and dash that you see, represents the access of the file for the user which has created it, or the user which is logged in, the creator of the file. The second access that you see over here, the RW and dash, actually represents the access for the group. What permissions does the group have in respect to this file? And the last r dash dash that you see, this represents the access to the rest of the world. So for these files, the by default permissions are that the group and the user can read and write in this file. They cannot execute it, and the outside world can just read the file. They cannot make any changes to the file. Now, what if you want to make some changes to these permissions? You will be using the chmod or chmod command. So I'll be typing in chmod followed by the permissions that I want to give the file. So let's say I want the file to be read and writable only and only by my user. I do not want to give my group or the outside world any permission. I want to revoke the read permission. So in that case, I can just quickly type in chmod 600 followed by name of the file. So let's say I want to change the permission for sample.txt. I'll be doing that. And now when I type in ls-l, you can see that my sample.txt has just the read and write permissions. And these permissions are applicable to the user who owns the file. The group or the outside world has no permissions in respect of this file. You can read more about this, and I'll be coming up with a detailed video on chmod because that's a very dedicated and a long command, wherein I'll be explaining the significance of each number and how can you actually change and manage the permissions of each and every file in Linux, because it's a very important topic in Linux. At times you're not able to access files if you do not have the correct set of permissions. So now coming on to the next thing, let's say if you have a very clustered terminal and you want to clear your output, you can just type in the clear command. So as soon as you type in clear, you'll be able to see that your screen will be cleared and you'll reach to the top of the screen. So now let's say if I type in pwd, the output is home ec2 user slash sample dir, and I want to move back to my parent directory. Let's say I want to move one directory up from the directory where I am currently. So I'll be typing in cd space dot dot, which is going to take me to my parent directory. So now if I type in ls, you can see that I am outside the sample dir, and when I type in pwd, you can easily see that I am inside slash home slash ec2 user. Now one thing which I'll also like to mention about the ls-l command. So for that I will have to actually create a directory and a text file in the same folder so that I can explain the difference. So I'll quickly start by creating one file over here. So I'll do that by nano smpl.txt, and I'll just type in this is some random data, full stop, control X. It's going to ask me to confirm if I want to save it or not. I'll be clicking on Y and then enter. I'll be clearing the screen output because that's how I like my screen to be. And now when I run ls-l, you'll be able to see a major difference. There are two directories in total. One is sample dir, and not two directories, sorry, there's one file and one directory. So the name of the directory is sample dir, and the name of the file which I just created is sample smpl, not sample exactly, smpl.txt. So you'll be able to see if you talk about the permissions, the first directory's name starts with a D, and in case of smpl.txt, it starts with a dash. So the first value actually represents if the file which you are trying to access is a directory or not. So if you give a ls-l command and if you see a directory, so you can observe that by the D in the beginning, which represents that the file name which you're seeing over here is not exactly a file, but it's a directory. In case you see a dash, it is going to denote that the name which you're seeing is basically a file and not a directory. So this is pretty much it about the basics of Linux. I'll be coming up with more videos in future to promote coding and help you out with Linux solutions. In case you like the video, please click on the like button and do subscribe for more such content. Have a great day.